there are so many moments as well in the Vincetti brothers and in the Norwegian in the family where you have I think it's the Joe Valachi character who I think is a real life character, the person whose confessions made up that kind of horrible Mario Puzo book. He meets the mule and he has this weird moment where waking up where, I mean, I'm not concentrating on all of I'm concentrating more on these like ephemeral moments, but like for me, they're almost like they're so indicative of the Schneider style. If Joe Valachi waking up and feeling for a moment that he's not really experiencing himself, that he's almost an interpassive agent in something that he's a roller coaster ride, you say, and that someone else is riding the train of Joe Valachi and experiencing him. And just again, like it creates such an interesting, it draws attention to what's happening kind of with the experience of the reader. And it's such a wonderful confluence of the author, this character, and the reader all at once. And like I feel like that comes through a lot in the poetry as well, kind of like without all the concrete kind of narrative stuff going on.
Well, yeah, you know, now just so you know, I wasn't the first person. There is a theory called the block universe that everything is planned out. That your life is what they call a life tunnel. That within, let's say, if the room that I'm in is the whole universe from beginning to end in all of this granted, that there's a little tunnel. Let's say I live to be 83. There's an 83-year-old little worm tunnel called Dan Schneider, and that ideally, that if you could travel and get outside of time, you could get in and experience what I'm experiencing. You'd be sort of hitchhiking like the little homunculus in the head, the idea that that you are really a little homunculus. You could be like, It's a Wonderful Life has that idea too. That you know, you could be George Bailey, you know, too. So that wasn't an idea originally to me, but what isn't it interesting if you put that in a real life character to think about that? You know, look at there were 5 main characters, for example, in a Norwegian family. The 4 titular characters that each have books. There's the 2 mobsters, Paulie Maravelli and Big Frank Concetto. There's the mule, which again is taken from the Foundation Asimov, and it uses that whole mythos in a totally new way. And one of my favorite parts about that is it makes the whole JFK assassination not about JFK. It's the only book that you'll ever read about the JFK assassination where the killing of JFK isn't the main thing. And then there's the Norwegian himself. But the character that gets the most onstage time is this perverted, shit-loving, perverted little dwarf, Jewish dwarf named Bit von Rheingold. And he has the 900,000 plus word acid trip. He is constantly, he's sort of the grease that he goes between all the characters and makes things happen. But if you think about it, these are some really fucked up individuals. But you can identify Bit von Rheingold. You know, there's a really funny scene where Bit even gets a midget porno actress in who's trying to make it sound like, you know, if I take 3 guys from behind, what's my motivation? You know, she has this kind of existential crisis thing. But you have to put these kinds of things. If you know the character, for example, if you really know and understand the character, you can put them in any situation because you know how they'll react. If I, for example, took a character that I created and put them in some absurd science fiction or horror film, you know, situation, well, if I know the character well enough, they will react in a human enough way to get you into it. And that's the thing that draws things. You can write about anything, but so many people, they just want to write about these dull things. There's a guy, Jonathan Franzen, who has a book here in America called Corrections, and it's a mediocre soap opera. And like I said, I watch soap operas. I don't mind melodrama. I don't mind melodrama from great modern playwrights. I don't mind melodrama from Shakespeare, but it has to do something more than just be, oh, you know, dad's got colon cancer, mom is an alcoholic, and you know, I'm gonna, you know, feel blue through the whole book. What is the point of that?